Alright, hello to YouTube. It's been a little while since I made a video, so I'm going to be making two videos. One right now, another one later about this car. I'm going to be going over 5 things I hate about this Mazda 6. Now, to get started with the video, I'm going to just go ahead and start the car up for this. I know the steering wheel's kind of in the way. There we go. So, one of the things I hate about this car, and honestly, I love the car overall as a whole, but one of the main things I do not like about it, I'm just going to go through a list of least annoying to most annoying, and I'd say the most annoying are the fonts, like in the little square right there, and up there in the, like the little screen right there. It's so far back. When it's really sunny out, you kind of have to squint just to see that. I mean, if you're listening to the radio, I mean, the letters are kind of big and it doesn't really tell you anything about the radio. It just tells you the station. I mean, you can press like the different stations here, but that's my preferred station. But I mean, it's kind of like the words are so big, or letters are so big. If you have satellite radio, which just has it doesn't even show you the entire length of the words on the thing. It'll tell you like the station number, and then it'll kind of like cut off the name of the station. So if you're listening, like if you're familiar with satellite radio, you have like something like Sirius XM, it'll say along there, it'll get cut off after Sirius and won't show XM or something like that. So that's just one of the little things I don't like about it. Just the screens and everything, and plus when you have the lights on, when you turn the lights on, like you can turn the dimness up and down with the lights, and if you want, you can press this little button to make that brighter if you're driving during the day with your lights on. But you know, it's just kind of hard to see. It's just kind of annoying. I would prefer if it actually said on here, if they made like a little bit of space on there to show you what gear you were in, because with this is a manual. So it'd be kind of nice if as you're shifting, if there was like a little thing right, like maybe just above like the right next to the 48-degree marker there, if it said like first gear, if it just had a 1, a 2, and a 3, that'd be kind of neat. But you know, like if you cycle through the trip, there's 2 trip meters. There's this one, there's trip number 2, and then there's that one. You can adjust the Fahrenheit. Like that one's blank, but they could just put a thing right there for the gears, but they don't do that. I wish that was something that they would do with the screens and everything, but you know, it's a base model car. You can't ask too much. So let's go ahead and turn the car off right now. I'm just gonna keep going on with the interior for the next one as well. One thing I really wish about this car is just the interior. I mean, for a base model car, we paid, I think, brand new around $15,000, something like that, with a trade-in, somewhere around there we paid. So one thing I think that they could have done, I mean, for $15,000, I understand that's really cheap. I mean, that was back in 2013. We bought this car new. So, I mean, simple things on the interior would have been a little bit nicer. You know, I mean, it's a good car for the money, but I mean, all this hard plastic, this is soft, but hard plastic. You look over here, hard plastic. It's all hard plastic, you know. This is cushioned right here. Right here, you can't really see it. This whole section right here is cushioned, and you know, the steering wheel obviously has leather on it, but I mean, plastic all the way around. Plastic. Everything is plastic. So I mean, it is kind of like annoying. There is like a little leather right here. That's nice if you have your arm down here when you're driving. You can have your like elbow resting there, and this is leather right here, which is nice. But the interior of the car could be a little bit nicer. But I do have to say the buttons and stuff some of the buttons are a little loose, and you know, I mean, there's only so much you can ask for a $15,000 car. That goes kind of, this whole entire interior part goes kind of hand in hand with these seats. Don't mind the stuff on the seats. This seat is dirty, obviously. It's really old, but I mean, the seats, this is a sport model car, so these seats are more meant for, like, if you're going on a corner or something, it's meant to hold you in your seat better. But that's just one thing I had to say about that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and step on the outside of the car for the next couple of them. So another thing I really wish is, of course, there's cars. Middle of the week and there's cars going by on a deserted road. Another thing I kind of wish is the the lights they're horrendous. I hate to say it, but the lights on this thing, I mean, I know I don't have the lights on now, but they're so dim during the day, or during night. I mean, they're not dim, but they're not as good as, like, many other vehicles out there have much brighter lights. I think they could put somewhat brighter or somewhat better lights in here. I do like the way this is made, the curve, but you can see how it's like foggy in there. I tried cleaning that up. It didn't really make much of a difference. I mean, this one's really, really foggy. And another thing that goes hand in hand is just, that's my number 3, is just the lights, how dim they are. They suck. I hate to say it. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not like you can't drive, but when you're driving at night, it's definitely a visible difference between this and like a 2015 or even a 2014 with nicer lights. It did have the ability for fog lights, but we didn't get that, obviously. And now you can kind of see this piece right there hanging. I did hit something in the road about a week ago, and it just kind of demolished the front end of this car. It demolished all the front. So that's my number 4, is all the plastic. This is all just plastic. It's just nothing but plastic down here. It's really quite sad because, I mean, look at that. It's just all plastic. That's kind of just like the interior. I hit something that was about maybe, I don't know. It probably was up to about, I don't know, about here on the bumper. So when it hit, it went right in the middle and just took out the middle and kind of tore apart the inside of the wheel well as well. That's just my other thing, is this is all just such cheaply made plastic, and it's really, really annoying that they can't make it. Like my old truck, I have a 2005 Ford Ranger. That thing, I can go up right here and just kick it right there with my boot, and it won't even dent the thing. This thing, if I went and just kicked that like that, it would probably, the bumper would fall off. I mean, it's just cheaply made. It's really sad. And there's another car, and that car's gone. That was number 4 about this thing. Just the cheapness of the plastic and how cheap it's kind of made, I guess, is just the other thing. And my other pet peeve, the biggest one I have with this vehicle, there's actually 2. I'm kind of torn on which one I don't like more, so I'm going to go with the one that's slightly above, and that's the fact that this car here has a 4-cylinder engine. Now, I'm not taking anything away from this engine at all. I'm just going to go ahead and pop that. I'm not taking anything away from this car's engine. This little 4-cylinder inline 4 is a very peppy, very fun little engine. It makes about 170 horsepower. I think like 160 pound-feet of torque. Let me just try and get this thing. Yeah, bear with me 1 second, folks. Just want to get this hood propped up. So, as you can see, we even had like a mouse or something in here. I drive this thing every day, and the mice and stuff are still getting in here. But this little 4-cylinder, I even popped this up for you. Bang, 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 bang. I did just change these, but this 4-cylinder with a manual, I mean, it is a fun little car. Don't get me wrong, this thing corners for a $15,000 car. I mean, it's a really nice car. It keeps right up with, like, Hondas and stuff that are like $30,000 that have 4-cylinders. It keeps up with them. It's not going to win any drag races per se, but cornering and speed and everything, it keeps up. It does it. It gets out of its own way. But my problem is that it only comes with a manual transmission in the 4-cylinder option for whatever reason. They make a 6-cylinder that makes like 260 pound-feet of torque, like 100 or horsepower, 260 horsepower, something like that. That thing is a beast when it comes to power. I mean, it only comes in an automatic. That's my biggest pet peeve about this car, is it only has a V6 with an auto. And I hate that. A lot of car companies do that. Like there's a new Ford Bronco coming out. The Ford Bronco, you can get a 4-cylinder base engine with a manual, which I love. Then you get the V6, no manual, only automatics. I don't know why car companies do that. They do it for whatever reason. I think it's really annoying. And I understand not as many people drive manuals, but it's really sad, in my opinion. That's just kind of my 5 biggest pet peeves. I don't want to make this like a 2-hour long video, but everything else about this car I honestly like. I'd say my only other pet peeve about this vehicle is it's only front-wheel drive. It could be all-wheel drive. That would be nice. I mean, these front tires they last about half as long as those ones. That's why we have to get this rotated more often, because it's a manual and it spins out a lot easier. So these tires, the front ones always have to be swapped a lot more often than an all-wheel drive car would, or a four-wheel drive, or something like that. Rear-wheel drives I can see being the same way, but if it had all-wheel drive, that'd be really nice. But those are just my 5 little pet peeves about this car, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks.